The unseen ones rise for thousands of years. The Keltari ruled the stars. Their ships floated like black knives across space, their fleets unchallenged, their commands followed without question. From the icy moons of Varlis to the fire winds of Torma, they built an empire with fear, not mercy. When a new world was found, it bowed or it burned. They believed all species were weak, and for a long time, they were right. But then they found Earth. At first, Earth was nothing special. It had water, air, and life. The Keltari sent scouts, then soldiers. They landed quietly in a mountain range. No resistance, just forests, winds, and silence. Easy prey. One of their commanders, Varnock, stood on a ridge and smiled. "Another world to command," he said. But he was wrong. In a nearby village, hidden behind trees and rock, a young man named Liam looked up at the stars. He had no army, no armor, just an old radio, some books, and a will to survive. He had heard stories of lights in the sky, disappearances, strange machines moving through shadows. He knew something was coming. The first attack was quiet. A farm burned, cattle vanished, people went missing. Authorities said nothing. Liam saw through the lies. He followed the patterns. He found wreckage, pieces of metal that hummed even when cold, and he heard strange clicks on his radio, signals that weren't human. He warned the others, but no one listened. Not until the sky opened. It happened one night. A giant ship appeared, black and wide like a floating mountain. It blocked out the stars, and from its belly, light poured down, harsh, white, blinding. Machines dropped. Soldiers followed. The Keltari came to conquer, but Earth was not quiet anymore. From a hidden base deep underground, a voice crackled through human comms. "We've seen enough. Time to respond." They weren't politicians. They weren't diplomats. They were something else Earth had prepared, quietly, carefully. For years, some nations had tracked the signs, the signals, the odd patterns in deep space. And while the world fought itself on the surface, a secret force had been building underground. Machines, weapons, ships, armor built not for war with each other, but for something more. Something from beyond. Liam didn't know it then, but he was about to be caught in the storm, not as a victim, but as a spark. Because this time, Earth would not kneel. This time, humanity would fight back. The first strike. The Keltari expected Earth to fall fast. Every other planet had. Their machines were efficient. Their weapons melted, steel. Their soldiers never hesitated. But Earth was different. On the second night after the landing, their ground troops moved toward a nearby power station, planning to cut the grid and throw the region into panic. They marched through the trees with quiet steps, thinking no one watched. They were wrong again. High in the hills, hidden in old tunnels from past wars, Earth's resistance had eyes everywhere. Drones without sound, satellites masked as space, junk, thermal readers buried under dirt. Every Keltari step was being recorded. The moment the invaders reached the edge of the station, the trap closed. A hidden cannon roared. A bolt of plasma punched through one of the alien walkers. It exploded in a ball of green fire. Earth soldiers, silent, fast, trained for this moment, rose from the trees in black armor, their rifles humming with energy. The Keltari had never seen this kind of fight. Humans didn't move like prey. They struck with fury, not fear. They worked in teams using signals and hand signs. Their weapons were smaller, but smarter. One soldier tossed a disc under an alien tank. It stuck. It blinked. It blew the vehicle apart from the inside. In less than 5 minutes, the Keltari squad was wiped out. Above, the command ship watched in silence. Then, alarms blared. Lights turned red. Data streamed in. Dozens of losses, sudden and exact. This was not a weak world. The commander of the Keltari vessel, a tall figure covered in dark metal plates, growled in disbelief. "They are Organized? No, they were ready, said one of his aides. That word changed everything. Back in the village, Liam stood near a crater left by one of the machines. It still smoked. Around him, soldiers moved with purpose, setting up defenses, checking scanners, handing out supplies. One of them approached him. "You saw them land, didn't you?" the soldier asked. Liam nodded. "You've got eyes. You've got instincts. We need people like that. Come with me." He didn't hesitate. Deep beneath the hills, in a place few knew existed, Liam was brought into the core of Earth's hidden force, Project Sentinel. There, humans from every background worked side by side, engineers, soldiers, hackers, scientists. They had one goal, survival, and now it was time to stop hiding. The war had begun, and Earth had just struck first. The Truth Underground Project Sentinel's base was deep, hidden beneath layers of rock and shielded by old Cold War bunkers. Liam walked through metal halls buzzing with activity, screens showing alien ships, 3D maps of the sky, code scrolling faster than he could read. He had never seen anything like it. A woman in a gray uniform pointed toward a circular room. "This way. Command wants to brief everyone." Inside the room, the lights dimmed as a large screen lit up. A man in his 50s, tall and calm, stood in front of the group. "My name is Commander Reed. If you're in this room, that means you've been chosen. You saw it, you felt it, you're not average." He pointed at the screen. It showed a map of the galaxy, filled with red zones. The Keltari have controlled this space for over 3,000 years. They wiped out dozens of civilizations, peace by domination. No one dared fight back, until now. Another screen lit up. This time, it showed Earth, but not the blue, peaceful one Liam knew. This was covered with defense grids, space cannons, orbital platforms. These were built in silence. Nations united, but not for politics, for protection, for this day. Liam turned to another soldier. "Why keep it a secret?" "Because we needed time," the man replied. "If the Keltari knew we were preparing, they'd strike before we were ready," Commander Reed continued. "They believe they can control us. They are wrong. Earth has warriors. Earth has fire. And Earth never forgets a threat." The room filled with silent energy. No one moved. No one doubted. Liam looked at the screen again and felt something rise inside him. Anger. Focus. Pride. Later that night, as alarms beeped through the base, a message came through. New enemy fleet approaching Earth orbit. 18 ships. Full military class. ETA. 1 hour. Panic didn't spread. Orders were given. Units moved. Above ground, across deserts, oceans, and forests, Earth's true strength awakened. Towers rose. Platforms opened. Defense satellites came online. Human warships, hidden under ice and sea, rose to the surface. The sky above Earth turned red as shields powered up. The Keltari didn't expect resistance, but what was coming was retaliation. From the top of the mountain, Liam watched the sky shimmer, and then the stars began to move. Clash in orbit, the stars blinked, then shifted. Liam squinted upward as the blackness above Earth fractured with light. The Keltari fleet had arrived. Their warships slid out of space like blades from shadows, each one miles long, covered in sharp edges and glowing symbols. But this time, Earth was watching. Commander Reed stood at the heart of the orbital defense center. "All platforms, target the lead ship. No mercy." The order echoed across every system. In orbit, Earth's hidden weapons lit up the darkness. From behind the moon, 6 defense satellites came alive, rotating into position. From Earth's surface, railguns launched kinetic rods faster than sound. And from under the oceans, 3 human warships, old myths to the rest of the galaxy, rose like sleeping titans. The first shot was silent in space, but its impact was not. A blast of white light tore across the void and hit the Keltari vanguard. The alien ship cracked, then shattered, its fragments turning into sparks as gravity dragged them down into Earth's atmosphere. The rest of the fleet opened fire. Green and blue beams lashed through orbit. Energy pulses slammed into human shields. One satellite broke apart, spinning off into fire, but the humans fought back harder. Liam, now stationed at a command post near the mountains, watched the live feed on a wall-sized screen. Explosions danced in space, ships turned, dodged, countered. The human warship Valor spun through debris, launching drones that swarmed the Keltari like angry bees. The Keltari had never seen such resistance. They had expected fear. They found fury. One of their admirals screamed through a garbled channel. "This is not possible. They were primitive." Commander Reed leaned forward toward the mic. Calm, cold. "You came to our home. You thought we were nothing. You're about to learn how wrong you are." Then he cut the feed. Back on the ground, Liam listened as another update came through. 3 enemy vessels destroyed, 2 retreating, more inbound. The war had only begun, but Earth had just proven one thing to the galaxy. They would not break. They would not beg. They would burn before they bent. Earth strikes beyond. The battle above Earth raged for hours. Keltari ships, powerful and proud, began to retreat, not because of weakness, but because of confusion. This was not how wars usually went for them. Planets usually surrendered, species usually begged. But Earth fought like a cornered animal, clever, brutal, relentless. Back in the command room, Commander Reed looked at a glowing map of the stars. "It's not enough to defend," he said. "We must send a message." Across Earth's military networks, a new command was issued. Launch Operation Torchline. Liam had only been part of Sentinel for a few days, but already he felt the shift. What started as survival was now turning into vengeance. Operation Torchline meant going off-world. Hidden on Mars was a launch bay, buried under red rock for decades. There, Earth's first generation of strike arcs had waited. These weren't defensive ships. These were hunter ships, fast, shielded, and built to hit enemy worlds before the enemy could blink. Within hours, 3 strike arcs launched, slicing through the silence of space, heading toward a nearby Keltari command outpost. The outpost was stationed on a desert moon believed secure, untouchable. It had never known an attack, until now. The first arc dropped its stealth shell and released EMP clouds. The Keltari base went dark. No lights, no shields, no weapons. Within seconds, the second arc unleashed gravity torpedoes. The outpost towers crumbled like sand. The third arc landed. From inside, human troops in adaptive armor charged forward. They moved fast, silent, efficient. In less than 15 minutes, the Keltari outpost was under Earth's control. One soldier, standing in the middle of the captured station, raised Earth's flag over a scorched metal wall. Back on Earth, Liam watched the footage. For the first time in history, humanity hadn't just defended its home, it had taken the war to the stars. The message spread fast across galactic channels. Earth is not prey. Earth strikes back. Keltari warlords began to argue among themselves. Some called for total planetary destruction, others for peace talks. Fear, real, true fear, began to ripple through their empire, because for the first time ever, they were not in control. The turning tide, the fall of the Keltari outpost changed everything. For centuries, their rule had gone unchallenged. One by one, worlds had fallen into their grip. Resistance was always short. Victory was always swift. But Earth's retaliation shattered that pattern. Across the stars, smaller civilizations watched the footage with wide eyes. They saw the human flag rise. They heard the reports, how a once primitive world had pushed back the most feared empire, and they began to hope. One by one, whispers turned into calls. Messages hidden in encrypted frequencies reached Earth's defense network. Alien factions once silent now sent offers of help. Weapon blueprints, coordinates, secrets about Keltari weaknesses. The galaxy was shifting. Inside Project Sentinel's war room, Commander Reed stood before a massive table glowing with data. Red zones marked enemy space, but now cracks were appearing. Blue zones blinking fast, showing signs of rebellion. Reed turned to the officers. "We're not fighting alone anymore." He tapped one location on the star map. "The slaves of Gorna 5 are rising. They've asked for help. They believe in us." A murmur moved through the room. Liam, seated with his new squad, clenched his fists. "Let's give them what they need." Within hours, another fleet launched from Earth. This time they weren't alone. A group of allied fighters from a desert world called Travo joined them. Strange-looking ships with curved wings and plasma nets. The target was a massive prison satellite orbiting Gorna 5. The attack began with silence. Human stealth pods broke through the station's defenses. They cut power, opened gates, freed thousands of captives. Then Earth's forces moved in, fast and loud. The battle was brutal. Keltari guards fought back, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. The prisoners, weak but angry, joined the assault with stolen weapons. Some had waited decades for this moment. By the end of the day, the station was under Earth's control. One of the freed captives, a gray-skinned elder with broken horns, stood before a human soldier and whispered, "We believed no one would ever fight for us, but you did." That broadcast spread through every corner of the galaxy, and it carried one clear message: humanity stands. And when they stand, others rise. The end of silence. The stars were no longer quiet. Where once the Keltari ships flew without challenge, now they were chased, outmaneuvered, and outgunned. Earth's retaliation had done more than just defend a single planet. It had sparked a fire across the stars. The uprising had a face. It was human. In the weeks that followed the Gorna 5 liberation, over a dozen alien worlds declared open rebellion. Underground networks, silent for centuries, surfaced. Keltari supply lines were cut. Spaceports exploded from within. Soldiers began deserting. Inside the Keltari high command chambers, panic spread. "They are not a species," one general spat. "They are a contagion." "No," another replied coldly. "They are the end of our silence." Earth didn't stop. Its fleets, once hidden beneath oceans and mountains, now moved openly. Strategic strikes continued across key sectors. Human operatives trained rebel leaders. Weapons were shared. Borders, once drawn in fear, began to vanish. And Liam? He stood now aboard the human flagship Ironclad, no longer the young man watching from a village, but a part of something far greater. He had seen his world attacked. He had seen it rise. Now he was helping other worlds do the same. Commander Reed's voice came over the comms. "Transmission intercepted. The Keltari Empire is collapsing. Remaining leaders request negotiation." A hush fell over the room. Liam turned to his team. "After all they did, do we answer?" One soldier whispered, "They never asked before striking us. Why should we listen?" Another spoke up, "Because we're not them. That's the difference." Silence. Then a nod. Reed's voice returned. "We'll meet them, but on our terms, in our sky." The meeting took place in orbit above Earth. Keltari ships arrived unarmed. Their banners drooped, and for the first time in their history they bowed, not from fear, but from understanding, because now they knew Earth was not just a world. It was a warning to all tyrants, a promise to all the weak. If you strike at humanity, they will strike back, and when they do, they won't come alone.